If I have a
robot coach for the...
You should ask Chris. I have an amazing...
Yes, she does. And we get along famously.
An amazing vocal coach who I adore, Mary McDonald, and she's helped me with everything, and she's the best. I've worked with Kate Winslet's coach, I've worked with like amazing coaches in the UK and in Los Angeles, and actually I think my coach in Portland is the best I've ever worked with, but she made a fatal mistake with Christian.
She tried, she goes, here, let me work on your southern accent with you.
Never forgiven her.
You fucking kidding me? She is amazing. She knows that we don't get along, so it's okay. But she is an amazing vocal coach, and if anybody ever, her name is Mary McDonald, and she really is amazing. I mean, I've seen what she does with Gina, and Gina has the hardest job of anybody. I just smack people around. She goes in and she learns different dialects, and it's really, yes, and you also have to act through it. Yes, you do. And it's one of the toughest jobs on the show, and I'm not lying to you, and she nails it every time.
But it's quite funny though, because he gets along with everyone, and then he sees her walking across the room, and he's like, he's so proud of where he comes from, and so he should be. And you know, Southern people are very, very proud of their heritage, and it's a very unique thing in America. There's like the New Yorkers and Southern people, that's it, they're so proud. So for her to say to him, you want to work on your Southern accent with me? That was like the end. But yeah, no, she does a great job.
So I go to that, or I can just kick you in the neck. Yeah.
From the set from season 1, from that LA devastation ring that said leverage on it. This is so funny. But no, it's a mystery. We don't...
Word of mouth.
Yeah, we don't know the answer to that.
Okay, thanks. Hello, question for Chris. We have seen Elliot infiltrate the boxing world and then the baseball world. What is the sport you want most for Elliot to infiltrate?
Well, it would be American football. I was really good at that. I wasn't that great of a wrestler, to be honest with you, because I came from Oklahoma and wrestling is a really big sport there. And I got into it like coming from Texas, but I grew up playing Texas football. I'm sure some of you guys know that I was on the movie Friday Night Lights, which thank God I did the movie, so Alice would have a TV series to do. And that was, I grew up with those boys. I grew up with the real boys. They were a little bit older than me, but I grew up playing that. And the guy that I play, his name is Brian in the movie, but his actual name is Richard Hicks. And he was my 5th grade coach in football. And I was a good football player. It'd be fun to put that back on. There's been a couple of football movies. I might be getting too old for it now, but you know, that was between me and James Vanderbeek for Varsity Blues, and I don't know how he got it. What a nightmare. But anyway, so it's, you know, that football would be a good, you know, the baseball thing, that kind of works as well, but definitely football. And I know that Alice wants to do football too, so it'd be really cool to have a football episode. And, you know, I think, you know, if he's playing quarterback, put me a linebacker.
Thank you.
And I know what Sophie would say. This isn't football.
I always saw this scene in the movie where I shot some oil barrels and all the oil came out and then just like sliding through the oil. And I was really upset because I like this guy a lot, and we actually, every once in a while, we'll be in the gym at the same time in LA, because Jason Statham did it in The Transporter.
Yeah.
And I was really kind of upset about that. He didn't do it the way I wanted to do it, because the way I wanted to do it is actually how it happened, but he was, you know, sliding through the oil, and he put the bike shoes on, the skates on, and so I brought it up with Dean, and Dean loved the idea. And I knew I was going to have to, and it was really hard to find out how you're going to kill 50 guys with a gun. And when I brought that idea up, he did it, and we spent literally 2 days in a warehouse. Dean directed that, and they were doing some second unit stuff but that fight scene, usually my fight scenes take 4 hours. I get no time to fight. And so it's, you're going at the speed of light, and, that's where people can get hurt. But this one, we actually got 2 days to film, and there was 2,500 bullets that were fired that day, 2 days. And it was a lot of fun. And the fact that Dean Devlin was directing, nobody else could have directed that. It's Dean Devlin from Independence Day, from Godzilla, from The Patriot. And no one could have gotten the slow-mo and when to pick it back up and the CGI of the thing. And it was probably my favorite thing I've ever done. Well, I told Dean and this is true, it was my favorite thing I've ever filmed.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, maybe you could talk about this because I'm sorry, I totally forgot my question.
Well, the thing is, if you think about it, say it a little bit. The thing with that movie is that's going to go on my tombstone. I had gotten offered another film at the same time called also starring Pancho Villa with Antonio Banderas to play Pancho Villa. He played Pancho Villa, but I was going to play the guy that came to Mexico to play him in the movie. And there was a big horse race, and I was so jazzed about that. And then they said, or you also just got a little playing Robert Duvall. I said, I'll play Robert Duvall. This movie was for a bunch of money. This one was for nothing. So I called the director, Tim McCandless, who, God bless him, because he directed The Iron Giant, and that was a cartoon. Our animation, and then he had never done anything else really, so now he's directing Academy Award winning Michael Kane and Academy Award winning Robert Duvall, and it was so funny to watch these guys just do whatever the hell they wanted to do, because you can tell these guys, and I wanted to play Robert Duvall as one of my heroes, and they said, can you come out 2 weeks in advance to study Robert Duvall and get his mannerisms down? I was like, yeah, I got it. Yeah. And they said, well, I can't tell you what. But anyway, the thing is that so I went out there and I did that, and I worked with Anthony DeLonges, who's been on Leverage a couple of times, a good friend of ours, who's my sword trainer. Trained for about a month with swords, and then went out there and just did the whole thing. And I'll tell you 2 quick things. Let's see, 13 stitches and 7 stitches on that movie. If you'll notice, halfway through the film, all of a sudden I have a mustache. And that's because I had stitches, I had plastic surgery, I butterflied myself. My whole lip was just wide open, somebody threw it right when I'm supposed to throw it up. And I called the director and I said, I want to do all my own stunts. And he said, I can't promise you that. And I said, just tell me that I can do them. He said, you can do them, and I ended up doing them all. Yeah. And then I got the best, I'm sorry for taking so long, but I got the best award you can get. You can keep your Academy Award, you can keep your Grammy. After this film, I came up to Robert Duvall, the casting director was there, and she said that when he was in his seat, you'd come on screen, he was going like this, he was like and I walked up and he was talking to another guy that I really respect, which is Paul Gleason. They're really good friends, and Paul Gleason is the principal of the Breakfast Club, and you guys know him, and he was talking to him, and I just reached over and I went, I said, Bobby, Bobby, thank you so much for everything. And he came over and he picked me up and he was like, how do you do? And he picked me up off the ground. And that means that he liked what I did, playing him. And that's the best award I'll ever receive.
I like what you did too. And Michael Kane and Robert Duvall, of course, these 2 guys were great.
Yeah, they were. It was funny watching Michael Kane try to do a southern accent.
He did a good job.
He did, yeah, exactly. And it's Michael Kane, so who gives a shit? He did Mary Mac, yeah.
Thank you.